Long ago, in a small village nestled at the edge of a great, whispering forest, there lived a boy named Toti. Toti was no ordinary boy. Everyone in the village knew him as clever. Perhaps the cleverest child around, but clever in a way that often caused trouble. While other children played fairly, shared their toys, and helped their elders, Toti preferred tricks and schemes. If he wanted mangoes from a neighbor's tree, he would devise a riddle or distraction to take them. If he wanted to avoid chores, he would spin a story or blame another child. Despite this, Toti had charm. People laughed at his cleverness, even as they shook their heads. They often said, "That boy's mind runs faster than a gazelle." But beneath the laughter, some elders worried, for they knew that a clever mind without honesty could be dangerous. One morning, the village awoke to an exciting announcement. The village chief, a wise man with silver streaks in his hair, called everyone to the central square. Children gathered around. Parents hushed their babies, and even the market sellers paused. "I have an announcement," the chief declared, his voice echoing like a drum across the village. "We shall hold a festival this week, and for this festival, I seek the most magical sound in the land. Whoever brings me a sound so wondrous that it amazes all will receive a basket of gold." The crowd gasped. Gold was rare and precious. Some children whispered to their parents about singing contests or flutes. Others thought of drums and clapping. But Toti's eyes sparkled. A basket of gold? That could be his. Without lifting a finger if he was clever enough, Toti spent that evening thinking and plotting. "I cannot sing as well as Mama's choir," he muttered. "I cannot make flutes like the smith makes swords. But I have heard stories. Deep in the forest, there lives a magical drum. A drum that can talk. A drum that will repeat words. Words only clever people can teach it. If I find that drum, the gold is mine." Before dawn, Toti set off, humming a tune to steady his nerves. The forest was alive with sounds, the chatter of monkeys, the rustle of leaves, and the distant roar of a waterfall. Birds of all colors peeked from the treetops, and insects hummed like tiny drums. The deeper Toti walked, the darker and more tangled the forest became. Roots twisted like snakes across the path, and vines hung like green curtains. After hours of searching, he arrived at a clearing where a giant baobab tree stretched to the sky, its branches wide as a marketplace. Beneath it sat the magical drum, carved from dark wood, with shining patterns that glimmered in the sunlight. Toti's heart raced. He had found it. "Oh, mighty drum," Toti said, bowing low. "I have come for your magic. Teach me your song, and I will honor you forever." The drum vibrated softly and spoke, its voice deep and echoing. "I only teach those who are clever and cunning. Speak carefully, young Toti." Toti puffed out his chest. "I am the cleverest boy in the village. I can trick anyone, even the chief himself." He boasted. The drum laughed. Its sound rolled through the clearing like distant thunder. "Very well," it said. "But remember, cleverness can be a double-edged sword. Promise me you will use your tricks wisely." "I promise," Toti said, almost dancing in excitement. For the next hour, the drum taught him its secrets. Each tap produced a different word. Each rhythm formed a phrase, and soon, Toti could make the drum speak in his own voice. He laughed at his good fortune. Gold would be his without effort. When he returned to the village, he found the festival in full swing. Stalls were lined with fruits, colorful fabrics, and woven baskets. Children performed dances, and musicians played drums, flutes, and rattles. But Toti paid no attention. He had something better. He approached the chief, bowing deeply. "Mighty chief, I have found the most magical sound," Toti announced. The villagers watched curiously as he positioned the drum in the center. He began to beat it lightly, and then, "Who is the cleverest? Who can trick the chief?" The drum spoke in Toti's own voice. Gasps filled the square. Children clapped, adults stared, and even the chief raised his eyebrows. "Who taught you this magic?" he asked carefully. Toti bowed again, beaming. "Only I, mighty chief, am clever enough to speak with a talking drum." The chief, impressed by the drum's magic, awarded Toti the basket of gold. Toti jumped up and down with joy, showing off his victory, completely unaware of the shadows lengthening as the sun set. But the drum was not done. That night, as the village slept, the drum's voice echoed through the huts. "Toti is the cleverest. Toti can trick the chief." By morning, the villagers had heard the words. Whispers grew into chatter, and soon, everyone knew of Toti's boast and deceit. Parents warned their children, neighbors avoided lending him toys or tools, and friends no longer shared secrets with him. Toti still had his gold, but he realized something far heavier than metal. He had lost their trust. Toti sat under the baobab tree the next day, the gold heavy in his hands, but his heart was heavier still. He thought about what the drum had taught him, not just about sounds, but about honesty. Cleverness could win prizes, tricks could win gold, but only honesty and respect could win lasting admiration. From that day onward, Toti began to change. Slowly, he helped the elders, shared with other children, and learned that cleverness and honesty together were far more powerful than either alone. And the villagers? They always said, "Cleverness may bring gold, but honesty brings respect."